All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, for the past 3 days, Nigerian youths have only one major topic of discussion on the internet, and that is the forthcoming protest. The APC have deployed and are still deploying all the weapons in their arsenal to stop that protest, but many Nigerian youths insist that there is no going back. And personally, I have said many times that I believe that for the protest to be successful, the Igbos must begin by observing. The Hausas and the Yorubas should begin the protest and sustain it for weeks before other regions begin considering joining them. And as a result of my belief, I kept my nose on the ground to find out the resolve of the Yorubas and the Hausa youths towards this protest. And I found out that as we speak, they are prepared for the protest unless something drastic happens between now and the 29th. But as it stands, the southwest and northern Nigeria will embark on this protest. But the APC still believes that they can quench the fire. They have announced a 110 billion naira youth empowerment scheme. It didn't work. Tinubu released 20 trucks of rice to try to deceive Nigerians. It didn't work. The people insulted him in return. They used Muslim clerics, in the north to try to deceive northern youths that protest is haram. Northern youths did not agree. They said they would embark on the protest anyway. Now they have moved to using traditional leaders. Hours ago, the Oba of Lagos came out to tell Nigerians that Tinubu means well and that instead of protesting, Nigerians should pray for him. And Yoruba youths came down heavily on the Oba of Lagos. And it looks like this time around, that phrase, respect your elders, that they used to deceive Yoruba youths might not count. Before I show you what the Oba said and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this update. Nigerian pastors must always look for a way to walk themselves into any conversation. And on this issue of protest, one of them has spoken up. Listen to what he said. Nationwide protest. I see Nigerians beating, stoning governors, lawmakers, and other officials. The fury coming will be like tsunami. Prophet Olujobi warns. Prophet Bisi Olujobi, General Overseer of the Wisdom Church of Christ International in Lagos, urged Bola Tinubu. Prophet Bisi Olujobi, General Overseer of the Wisdom Church of Christ International in Lagos, urged Bola Tinubu's administration on Tuesday to address the ongoing hardship in Nigeria. In a statement, Olujobi, who recently led the League of Concerned Prophets in a protest against the government's biting policies, warned that the prevailing poverty could drive Nigerian citizens to express their frustration publicly. Many governors, lawmakers, and other government officials will be stoned before December as a result of the lingering suffering across the nation, he warned. I foresee a mother of all revolution that will unseat this government and a number of governors if the right things are not done immediately. Nigerians are not asking for too much. Their patience should not be misconstrued as foolishness. The fury coming is going to be like a tsunami with consequences. Tinubu should look inward and do the needful now that there is still time. Anybody or group telling him not to be worried is just being deceptive. Olujobi advised Yemi Cardoso, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, to avoid actions that led to trouble for his predecessor, Godwin Emefiele. You heard that. Now, whether this is a prophecy from God or a mere logical prediction, I cannot tell. But what I do know is that Yoruba youth surrounded that update and they responded to this prophet's warning to Tinubu. Let's take some of their responses. Similolu here says, don't worry, I have seen it too. Anybody can see that. This one no be spiritual something. Nigerians have started sharing who they go beat. Wike seems to top the list. So far, nobody has mentioned Tinubu because he would dress like woman and run away. Chai. And Olubukola Dedeji here says, exactly what we are going to do. If you see any uniformed man disrupt the protest, we will make sure we look for his family's home and give it to them back to back. And I for an eye. Wow. And this tweet by Audu Igbekele says, yes, so we need to let those police, military, and any force officers know that we will find their loved ones and retaliate. Wow. And this tweet here by Due Process says, Oga, go and sit down, abeg. You know, see Jack. And even if it happens, religious leaders go collect more self. Oh. And Okesola Sunday Shola here says, that's exactly what is going to happen. He's affirming the words of the prophet. I can see that the Southwest is well fired up for this protest. And there were some very terrific comments that I didn't even take. Some of them are threatening to beat up the pastors that supported APC. This is serious. Well, we will keep our fingers crossed to see how all these plays out. Now, let us look at the speech from Oba of Lagos, where he asked Nigerians to pray for Tinubu, and Yoruba youths came down heavily on him. Look at how the papers reported it. Lagos monarch Akiolu urges patience, prayers for Tinubu. The Oba of Lagos, real one Akiolu, has urged Nigerians to be patient with Bola Tinubu as he implements reform programs for the country to get better. The monarch, who made the plea in Lagos on Tuesday during a visit by the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to his palace, also called on Nigerians to keep supporting the administration with prayers. Tinubu means well for Nigerians, and he is a man who is grassroots focused. All I am asking for is prayer for Nigeria and the president. We should be patient. Everything good needs prayers. I assure you that the president will do well for this country. He loves Nigeria. He loves Nigerians and will do the best for them, he said. Oba Akiolu, who acknowledged the virtues of vibrancy and hard work of the Nigerian youths, urged them to engage in productive ventures. He commended Tinubu and his wife for their efforts in uniting the nation. The king used the opportunity of the visit to restate his appeal for a special status for Lagos State as former federal capital of Nigeria. The First Lady thanked the king for always playing a fatherly role to Lagos State and the nation at large. She disclosed that her pet project, Renewed Hope Initiative, will soon roll out a program which would support 1,000 women from each state with 50,000 naira each for their petty businesses. Mrs. Tinubu was accompanied by wives of some Southwest governors, National Assembly members, ministers, and service chiefs. Can you give those ones 50,000 naira to support their businesses? So 50,000 naira to 1,000 people is what you are announcing as an initiative. These people see Nigerians as goats. And the Oba of Lagos, after collecting his own money, is telling Nigerians to be patient. But look at how Yoruba youths responded to him. This tweet here by Color Cloud says, someone close should send this to that fraud. He's benefiting from this hardship, that's why. Guys, hit the street and make sure demands are met from 1 to 10. A list of demands is already being cooked and the list will be released soon. And Kola made a chart of items here, the cost of those items before Tinubu and how much they cost now. He said they should send it to that fraud who calls himself Oba of Lagos that is asking Nigerians to be patient. And this tweet by Annie Bijuwon says, is it patience federal government gave you to come and use to deodorant its anti-people policies? Yes. Anibu Juwon is asking him, is it patience that they gave you to go and preach to the youths? Because we know that you are only acting as a mouthpiece of the federal government. And Deyemi here says, seeing neck with shiny meat, shebi you don't chop belefu. Deyemi said the Oba's neck is shining. The meat is shining because he has collected a lot of money from the APC and Tinubu. And Biola here says they are feeling it already. He said they have not even started the protest, but the heat is radiating upon the federal government. And this guy here says, Ori Lagos monarch Daru, meaning the Lagos monarch is crazy. Wow, this guy is so angry. Apparently, Oluremi Tinubu came down to Lagos, gave the Oba of Lagos a lot of goodies millions. And then the man started talking, started asking Nigerians to be patient after you have collected your own money. And this is what the entire elite class, the political class, this is what it is all about for them. That is why it is a circle. They all work together. It is extremely difficult to find, those people within that elite circle supporting this protest. They will tell you things like, don't burn your country down, don't burn Nigeria down, it is the only place we have. All those things, they are not saying them out of patriotism. They are saying those things because they have been settled. They are living large. They are feeding fat from the corruption of Nigeria. And it's not really because they don't want unrest. It is because they know that if the system starts working, their own source of income will be blocked. And most of these guys have never earned an honest living in their lives. They have been living off the federal government. That everything they spend is siphoned from the federal government. So they benefit from the corruption of the system. If someone like maybe Peter Obi gets into power, they know that all these monies will not be coming down again. And they will do everything to make sure that Nigeria continues on this trajectory of failure, hopelessness, poverty. That is what they benefit from. But just like I keep saying, I don't blame them. They are benefiting from the system the way it is, so it behoves them to support it. But the people, Nigerians, who are at the receiving end are the ones who should say no. And luckily for us, we have the number. If everybody that is suffering in Nigeria can say, no, I am tired of suffering and I want to put an end to it, I am telling you, within a very, very short time, if the government sees the number alone, just mere citing the number, they will start doing the right thing. The people must recognize how powerful they are if they unite, and they must put their sentiments aside and do so. They must unite so that they can take their country back. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news where una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.